Grace is a deceptively simple game. When I started playing this, it brought to my mind other titles like Doors, Pressure, Rooms, and Pizza Tower. At first glance, it might seem like just another endless run filled with sliding doors and dodging, but it's more than that. The more I played, the more I started to uncover some hidden lore beneath all the action. Maybe I'm reading too much. Or am I? Grace is about surviving as long as possible without dying, but I couldn't help myself. I love diving deeper into the story, and Grace turned out to be the perfect game for that. So come with me and let's go. Let's start off with our first monster slight, gray fish-like creature whose attack is marked by white tentacles moving across the screen. After 5 seconds, it charges through the center of the room at a faster pace. Stay along the edges of the room to avoid it. Carnation is a plant-like monster with a lethal charge attack. When it's about to strike, a pink outline will appear around the screen. If you don't find a hiding spot in time, you're done for. Look for lights in the room that mark safe areas, indicated by a blue aura around a horizontal eye. If you make the mistake of looking at Carnation, your vision will blur, and negative words will start flashing on your screen. Avoid looking at it to stay alive. Elkman, a terrifying black tentacle monster with a lamp for a face. If it spots you, it begins to melt you slowly. To escape, break line of sight. Either retreat to the previous room or keep running forward. Heed, a red vertical eye. Unlike Slight, you must maintain eye contact with Heed, or it will attack. A helpful tip, you can open doors while looking backwards, but if the door is locked, you'll need quick reflexes to survive. Dozer, a yellow smiling face that seems to be asleep. After a few seconds, it opens its eyes and damages anyone who moves. To survive, simply stay still and crouch. Dozer often appears when Carnation is active, so make it your top priority to deal with it first. Sorrow, a dangerous bloody rain that colors the room red. After a few seconds, the rain intensifies and can crush you. To avoid it, take cover in a room or doorway, but be careful. Sorrow can appear alongside Dozer and Carnation, making things even more challenging. Goatman. This entity shows up when the timer runs out and you haven't reached a safe room. It's signaled by a change in screen color and eerie music. Goatman can appear anywhere, growing closer as it makes ominous sounds. You can temporarily delay it by flashing a light at it, but your best bet is to find a safe room as quickly as possible.
You guys thought that was crazy? Here comes the better part, boys.
Now, as a Roblox player, I would never thought about this, but this is the lore of Grace. The lore is revealed after you die. When you finally fall during a run, you encounter a mysterious being that speaks in cryptic riddles, saying things like, "You tread on a path I ready for you, a path to bring you to me. I will always love you. Will you always love me? I am no evil. Feel torture there. Feel embrace." This being doesn't seem hostile, but rather possibly benevolent, creating the very path you're forced to navigate, the rooms and challenges that stand in your way. I believe this entity represents Grace's version of God, especially given its words in the game's thumbnail, which features a cross. But why would this God create such a deadly path filled with terrifying monsters? It seems to be a test, a trial to see if you're worthy of redemption. The monsters appear to symbolize the player's sins, and by surviving long enough to reach the Eye, or God, you can achieve redemption. Here's how I interpret the connection between some of the entities and the 7 deadly sins. Slight. Envy. It constantly watches you and causes negative effects when interacted with. Heed. Pride. You must always keep eye contact with it, symbolizing an obsession with oneself. Dozer. Sloth. To survive, you need to remain completely still and crouch, representing laziness. Slight fish. Greed. It forces you to stop and wait, blocking your progress and feeding your impatience. As for the other sins, lust, wrath, and gluttony, I believe Sorrow represents lust, Elkman symbolizes wrath, and Carnation could be linked to gluttony, though these connections are a bit more abstract. One last detail, Carnation is a real flower that represents love, likely familial love. This ties into the idea that the Eye, or God, loves the player like family. The scientific name of the carnation, Dianthus caryophyllus, translates to flower of God, which further supports this connection. On the other hand, the goatman seems to represent the devil, always lurking in the background, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. If you have your own thoughts or theories, feel free to drop them in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe,